Hi guys, it's GC here. So today I'm here with another Dragon Empire deck profile, and this time I'll be covering a mixed uh, overdress and crossover dress with Nirvana Jiva. So if you saw the thumbnail, you will see it is actually not the mix build that you're thinking of, that using the order and using Valiente to do a lot of things. I'm not showing you that one today. If you are interested, I probably will also be doing that one, but compared to that build, this build actually gives me a better win rate, and I think it's more fun with this build. With the other build, what I face is I always don't get the combo off. I get part of it, and it's not the path that I want it to be. Or when I can do the combos, after that I only have 3 cards or 4 cards in hand, I'm on 3 damage, the next turn I have no shield value, and done. So it's like I flex. If I win, I win. If I don't win, I'm guaranteed lose. But this build, you actually get to play a little bit of the stalling game if case went very worst, and I am always a person that like to prepare for the worst. Like when you can't do anything, at least you have something in your hand. At least you have something that can get you prepared to wait, um, to survive until you get the pieces. With that build, you can't do that. This build, you can't. And let's immediately go over this. So the right line, basically, this will get you a Trickster, this will get you maybe a Prayer Dragon, and this is a crossover standard, and be able to get you some combo pieces that you need, so you can do your crossover dress or overdress. And next, for Trickster, to me, for Trickster is needed. I see some other builds, if they're using the order, they're cutting Trickster to like 3. I unfortunately cannot allow that to happen, because we have so many great threats to remove your Trickster. Be a Messiah, which will just bind your whole crossover dress or overdress pile to bind zone, so you lose a Trickster. To be a Chrono Jet that sends your Trickster with your overdress or crossover dress unit to the bottom of your deck. To be a Gust, no, not Gust, Tempest that sends you away. There's so many things. Or just a simple retire is way better than all this kind of getting this card out of the field back to your deck or to the bind zone. To the bind zone, you're dead. To the bottom of the deck, you can still kind of work hard, right? Retire is way better. That's why I'm using 4 Trickster, and being able to have 2 Trickster on the field during your grade 2 turn, while you call one with your grade 1 ability, and then you call another one from hand to have a 2 non-targetable units on the field is actually quite important. So I'm maxing Trickster out at 4, and it's because it's absolutely needed. And next is a star, Nirvana. So this is the grade 4 that we all know. Usually we use with the old Nirvana, but this time I'm mixing it with the new Nirvana Jiva, because this card doesn't care if it's old or new Nirvana, as long as it's a Nirvana unit. Then you can still use the skill to counterblast 1, Soul Blast, or discard a Nirvana from your hand to call a grade 0, which will likely be a Trickster, and deal 1 damage to opponent if they are on 4 or less damage. So Nirvana allows you to chase damage, allows you to have plus 10k as long as you have a unit with overdress states. You get a triple drive, so instead of drawing 2 cards into your hand with your drive checks, you get 3 chances to pull your triggers, and that can be anything, right? Having more drive checks getting more cards into your hand is actually making you to survive longer. And worst of the worst, if you don't have a overdress stage units, you at least have triple drive to kind of getting some hand advantage if we are just talking about drive checks. So this is a very interesting take that when I see my friend showing his list that using Nirvana and I'm like blank, and then I also get another combo piece that you can actually try out that is different from the original idea which I think of, and it's very fun combo to do. And the next into the overdress units will be 4 X-overDress and 4 Arcs. Arcs is definitely draw power, X-overDress is your damage pusher, is your restander, more multiple attackers. So I'm just using these 2 overdress units. And Arcs, as long as helps you to draw, you have a lot of chance to survive, you have a lot of chance to get your combo pieces. Because as I keep saying, if you're using Nirvana Jiva, your hand size is always very limited. But with Arcs, with Great Force, your hand size is at least slightly bigger. And this is already some big changes to your survival in the whole game. And then I'm only running 3 of the Garo Farina as the crossover dress units because you won't stay as Jiva for very long. Usually I just immediately go to Nirvana as long as I can get that to happen. So you don't get to restand that much. But of course it's always tasty to use your Garo Farina to attack, use your Jiva to attack, restand your Garo, pull a over trigger to restand your Jiva, attack with Garo again, attack with Jiva again to restand your Garo again, and do your attack. That's always a dream, and it did happen a few times during what I play. But of course we can't always just hope that to happen, right? So I'm just only running 3 as crossover dress as an important backup, and this is a good guard restrictions. And if you go into Nirvana, there will be an extra 10k boost, so it's a 30k guard restriction with 2 cards in hand. And as long as you have this kind of guard restriction, the first attack usually is quite easy to land it if you're on Jiva. If you're on Nirvana, then you can just keep it standing after you do your drive checks and then just strike in with guard restrictions, so your opponents will need to at least give you something. Okay, next is Brahmada. So this is another draw power, and it's your prayer dragon to actually go into your Garo. And then the new card from BT9, which is a Strike Equipped Dragon Stragalio. So this card allows you, when you place it from hand, you can discard another card if you have a Nirvana Vanguard to search your deck for up to 1 overdress ability unit or a Trickster, add to your hand and shuffle your deck, so you can actually get to link into these pieces immediately. And your Jiva will bring you a Trickster, so you can immediately go for any kind of overdress actions. And if you have a Garo, you can go into crossover dress, which I think will be actually helpful to you as well. Yeah, so you can see there are only 5 prayer dragons, so the search from your grade 2 might not be easy, and you don't always search any kind of prayer dragons, but at least you get a chance to do so. And since we're only doing 3 crossover dress units, so don't expect you to crossover dress so many times, but you have a chance to do so, and they're a good booster anyway. And if you get into just crossover dress with this card, you can counterbox 1 to get yourself another Trickster from the drop zone, but usually we don't need to do that, usually. Okay, next is another star to the deck, which is Blaze Maiden Amelia. So this is the card that I think is very helpful and it's very fun combo to do. Her skill is, if you have a Vanguard with Nirvana in its card name and your opponent is great for your heart, card +1 put this card into your soul. Choose up to one card with Nirvana in its card name from your hand, run it as stand. If you roll, you can upright by card effects until end of turn. So what you can do is you use your Jiva skill, bring one of Trickster and one of these out. So you have a Trickster, you have a Prayer Dragon, and for the cost you can just ditch a Prayer Dragon to actually bring one of each back, and then use your Amelia, card +1, put her into your soul. If your opponent is grade free, go into your Nirvana, and since they're not the same thing, and you can use also the once per turn of your Nirvana, card +1, Soul Blast your Jiva or another grade 4 from your hand, up to you. Bring yourself a grade 0, which will likely be another Trickster, deal 1 damage to your opponent if they are on 4 less. If they're on 4, they will go to 5. And you're on grade 4, you have 2 Trickster, you have a booster. Then if you have a Experidia and a Garo, then you already have all the pieces you need. You have 1 Trickster for your Experidia, you have 1 Trickster and a Prayer Dragon for your Garo. That's the most ideal situation. Or even just a Ox or an plus a Experidia, I think it's still good, as long as your 1 overdress unit will get plus 10k to the front row. That's already it's a good strike turn, right? When your opponent is just only going to grade 3, starting to get prepared, you immediately go to grade 4s, get your combo pieces out, and then do whatever multiple attacks you need to, right? So you can constantly do 4 attacks with this deck without too much of a problem. And if you're worried about finding Experidia, you can use this card already. And if you have too many Experidia in your hand, feel free to ditch it for using a Ride deck, because they will also turn into your dress base. Whenever you use your Experidia, it will just put all the Trickster, put all the overdress ability units, Farina, as dress base. So the more you have, the stronger it gets. But do remember, if you are using overdress of Experidia, make sure you have another Trickster already on the field first, or else all the Trickster will also go in under Experidia. Then it might affect how you do your next overdress or cross overdress play, so do be careful about that. And the rest is pretty easy. 3 normal PG, 1 of the auto PG, because we have a lot of Jet, we have a lot of Messiah, is always helpful. Triggers, Dragon Empire over trigger with lovely stance. I just talk about how nice to have multiple Jiva and Garo Farina attacks. Crits, just any kind of 7 crits, because to me the sewing crit isn't that much helpful to me, and it's being 4k, so I can't actually hit key numbers. I actually prefer 5k, so I just randomly put in any kind of crit triggers that I like, or like just next to me, so that's like that. If you prefer to use 4 sewing crit, feel free to do so. So far the crits that I actually play down as a booster are 5ks, so that I can adjust the number enough to be a threat. So again, it's up to you, because the shield value won't change. And then for draws, 10k draws, not only because they are 10k shield, but draw is actually important. So you can see I'm using Brahmada, the Arcs, grade 4. So you can see I'm actually heavily kind of wanting to draw more cards, so I'm using 4 draws and 7 crits instead of 8 free. That's the reason. And then for heals, if you want to use any effect heals, you can, but again, I'm trying to maximize my shield value and balancing the shield value that I can get from a heal. 15k shield I think is still the best for me. So here we are. Yeah, so that's basically the deck list, and what you need to aim for is to get into your Jiva as soon as possible. And if there are not a lot of early board wipe like Blaster Dark or any kind of similar things, you can simply just play your Arcs during your grade 2 turn, trying to draw yourself more cards, and then you can immediately intercept with your Arcs, because we are not using Valiante, which brings one of the Trickster to your drop zone, and then when you go into G5 you can bring it back immediately. Yeah, so if you are going first, again, what you aim for is to probably this, so you can draw more cards with this. Swings, restand swing, maybe you get another one, up to you. But if you're going second, what you need to do is to ditch and have one in your drop, so that you can bring these back. And then this, Canvas 1, put into Soul, go into this, and then Canvas 1, Soul Blaster, ditch another one, bring another one back, do 1 damage, and now you do your plays. Could be things like this and just simply this, that works. It could be this, or it could even be things like this, right? And you have your right deck still. So just from here you have 4 souls, so that's already enough for you to do 2 resetting attack, to do 5 attacks for 2 turns. I think that's more than enough to just finish your opponents off. And well, if you really can't by doing that hard, then nothing can actually help you, I guess. But just by doing this cycle, you already have what you needed to do enough multiple attacks, and you don't always have this lineup. You will have something like this, right? Then you have 4 turns. If you have this, you still have 4 turns. And if you suddenly just like that, and then bring out another Trickster and do that, then you might have like 1 more turn that at least you can still kind of lasting for 3 turns, just by having this field. And even if they get popped, as long as you have another one, you can just bring another one back. So I don't see too much of a problem with this build. The worst case is you have this and you have no OD units to bring out, but at least you can still use these to attack, right? You can still play like this to rely on a triple drive instead of chain drive, because if you are on Jiva, right, and say you have this, right, and you have only this, what can you do? Nothing. You can just go in, attack and attack and attack, and you're only chain drive. But with this, you at least, as long as you draw into any of these combo pieces, you can go into here, right? Because this one you have no surges. These ones, what you need is just discard another card in your hand. That's why the triple drive is important. That's why the draw is important. That's why the draw is important. As long as you have cards in your hand, you can kind of turn it into something that can make you survive. Let's turn it that way. Yeah, so this build actually do give me a better win rate, believe it or not, and I'm very happy to actually get to play with my partner again in a more interesting way. So I do suggest you to try it out. Let me know if you have any questions. Give this build a try and let me know in the comments. If you like this build, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more deck profiles, unboxings, deck fights. I do have a record for this deck, so you will be seeing that a little bit later. That if there's a few deck profiles I still need to put out to you guys, including the previous version of this, which involving the order, which I have to say I'm not very happy, not with the build, but the actually idea of that play. So I will still be showing you guys what I think can turn the combo possible. Of course, that's not guaranteed winning, but if you are looking into doing that combo, you can check that profile out. I still have Dragon Trees that will still come out, which will also be coming out very soon, and then we will have the next set coming out very soon as well, early April, so probably basically next week. Yeah, so and from there will be a lot more decks to come out, so there's a lot more deck profiles coming, so make sure you check that out. And of course I will be doing unboxings, so yeah, there's a lot of content you can check out. Subscribe so you can always get prepared when I have new videos coming out. And lastly, just comments down below if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts. Just let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.